So I have brakes, but they are spongy. Welcome back to the series project. It's finally time to start on this again, and today we are going to look at brakes. And when I mean we, I mean we. So I would like to welcome you, a special guest from Brumunddal.
Keyword.
Keyword Brumunddal. Erik is here. Short visit in Trondheim, and I think it's good to have him here so he can guide me. I have never done brakes on an old series or on the old type style drum brakes. So and he has done it
Once.
But he's a trained Land Rover mechanic. We should do an episode just talking about all the things that have happened at your place.
Yeah.
With the P38, things you've done to the series. You bought a new car.
Yeah.
But that will be a later episode, I think. But brakes, I think we should just get into it and then see how it goes. I have new brake cylinders for all 4 corners, but we're gonna fix the one that is leaking today. Yeah. Good.
That's the plan anyway.
That's the plan. We will see. Okay, let's go. Wheels. Administrator, I will call it.
Supervisor.
Supervisor.
With a chair.
So I'm getting my training mechanics series. Oh.
You want to spin the wheel?
Yeah, it's if you try to spin it one way and then try to spin it the other way. You see?
Yeah.
It's really stuck there one way.
Could be brakes sticking.
Yeah. I was thinking diff, but this could be brakes, of course. Yeah.
More?
No, that's fine. In theory, you should be able to just remove this now.
Do you have a soft mallet or something?
Yeah, I have the rubber mallet. Can you use like a pull tensioner or something?
The gap is bigger at the top
Okay.
at the moment, so you need to start low.
But is this also the part of the...
This is probably the shoe you can see in there.
This is the shoe?
Probably,
No,
maybe.
no,
Or is the inner part of the drum?
Yeah, so. Yeah, it's moving. Yeah, it's moving. That's good.
Do you have a bigger pry bar?
I have a bräckjärn. But it's coming.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, finish off. Yeah, see some parts here.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
No.
For being this old, it's not that bad. There's hardly any lip. But that cylinder looks fairly new.
Yeah, so all are new, but they are. I think they're just because they haven't been any brake fluid in them. They are started to leak when I put brake fluid on it.
But do you see any leaks on the shoes themselves? Have they been wet?
They look pretty dry. I think
Could have been lucky.
I can have been pretty lucky. I try to see it. You can see on this side it's have been wet on the.
Yeah, you can see there's some stuff.
Okay. Removing this is basically
2 screws, I think.
2
and
nuts.
the pipe.
In the pipe. Yes.
Now you do the work with the gloves.
Yeah. Difficult to keep your hands off.
A bit.
Did you loosen
I loosened everything.
the brake line as well?
Yeah. Do you need to remove any fixings for the brake line, or can we push it away? Are they similar size, front and rear on this one? Being an 80?
I'm not sure. They're,
80?
I think the front is a bit longer. I can't remember if it's the 96, 97 or if it's 302, 303. So, but I can check that on the parts catalog.
Do you have a knife?
Yeah. So this is the entry. Yeah, this is the same. This was 90, or was it 30 something?
303D.
Okay. Then open one of the 96 or something, or 97. Just check the length. They look.
Oh, these are bigger.
Yeah. So these are the front. So they are, way bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. And this is correct.
And the pipe connection is correct way?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, coming from back, yeah. Good. That's
On the first.
that's luck.
That's right. Let's see.
You have removed the nuts?
Yeah. So if you take that one, right, shims, okay.
Washer.
Yeah. Washer. I think that's the leaky part. Looks like it's on this side as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Oi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take a look at that afterwards, checking how it actually looks inside.
Bench test.
Bench test. Var det ikke med nye mutter og sånt?
Nei.
No new nuts and shims, okay?
Or, but do you remember the washer?
Yep.
Probably one more.
Yep,
There as well. Yeah.
Found it. So they are like these lock washers.
Spring washers.
Spring washers, thank you. So this was pretty easy to do.
Yeah. It's simple.
So why haven't I done it yet?
I think I was 13 or 14 years old last time I did that one.
Okay. Which car was that?
My dad's 109,
Yeah, okay.
which was I think also left rear
Yeah.
leaking
Yeah, okay.
because now it's been standing for 30 years or more.
Is it the one,
Yeah, the grey
Yes,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
the project, the V8?
V8 project, long coming, still not coming.
Yeah, but
Yeah, if we can find time sometime.
yeah. It's gonna be fun. See if the other starts leaking when we put fluid into this one. Hopefully this is the correct fitting.
Yeah, would be a good idea to check that before.
Yeah, I think it's what's called UNF or something.
Yeah, unified threads.
Okay. Is that standard on Land Rover or is it?
Yeah, standard until can't remember when they changed on the Classic. Because I changed mine from unified to metric when I did the brakes on mine.
Yeah.
But I didn't replace the master cylinder, or I did replace it, but I didn't replace the boost vacuum, the clock.
Okay.
So I had to do the original unified threads on the master cylinder. So I have a master cylinder which is non-metric and the rest of the car is metric. But that was for making it easier in Norway finding parts
Yeah.
for in the future. But now classic cars are so popular, you probably will find unified threads on Biltema anyway.
Yeah.
But you couldn't do that 20 years ago.
Okay, so that's moving it out. Backwards is off. Forwards is on. Okay. On the tensioning screw. Before we start, should we put the drum back on so they don't...
Yeah, but we need to clean the drum and refresh the shoes with some sanding paper.
Okay.
Because it's not...
The boring part.
Yeah.
Okay, some learning with Erik.
Yeah, so on your disco,
Yeah.
on the park brake, it's the corners or the edges are smoothed out
Yeah.
for making it easier for the shoes to what do you call it, to find place in the drum.
Yeah.
when you push the brakes. So when this is really sharp, which this one is, it can be that the shoes are jumping almost.
Okay, so they hook up.
They hook up a bit,
Yeah.
fast.
I understand.
So you should smoothen out these edges
Yeah.
and roughen up the pads themselves.
Yeah.
And if this one had been leaking on the shoes,
Yeah.
which in a normal circumstance they would have, these pads or these shoes will be non-functioning.
Yeah.
Because this will be wet all the time and will be like oil on brakes.
Like a sponge, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you said you could burn them out.
Yeah, if you have a good burner, you can cook them out.
Yeah.
So I did that on the Classic. Last time I had a big oil leak.
Yeah. But if you don't have those parts, basically.
Yeah, and also you need to be careful because if you can burn out the glue.
Yeah. Okay.
Because these are glued.
Together. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On really old cars, they are clinked.
Yeah.
In Norwegian, using some kind of rivets.
Yeah.
So you can be unlucky to take out the glue as well.
Yeah. Okay. Sand down.
Yeah.
Clean the drum. And then we're ready to put it back on and test. Fill some brake fluid on. So give it a clean outside and then I think just polish the edge.
Yeah, and roughen up the surface a bit.
Yeah.
You can tell it's been used a while. There is a wear edge here.
Yeah.
There's obviously a maximum tolerance for how big this can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
For wear.
Yeah.
Similar as you have on a brake disc.
Yeah.
So I'm just assuming it's okay because the wear isn't massive. Also they did the shoes and not the drums.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Someone has checked this at
Yeah.
some point.
Den er nog ganska ren. Yeah, pretty clean. Okay, so just quick on the edge, not on the side, just on the...
Yeah, on the biting point.
Yeah. I also read that the old shoes had like asbestos. So you need to be really careful. But you have some mask on.
Which we are not, no. Yeah, but I don't think these shoes are that
No,
old.
these are probably Britpart.
Yeah, these are
somewhere 90s.
15, 20 years old.
Yeah. Okay, good. Put the disc back, no, the drum back on. You have the screw holes there, there, and there.
Yeah.
I think. Am I doing something wrong? Just a bit tight, maybe. say it.
Mm.
If you have something to comment.
I'll just watch you work.
Yeah. Try to screw them in. Maybe not going to work, but
On the lowest one.
yeah, that's not. I missed it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we probably should check that before. This was wrong. So there is only one way this should go on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Did you know that, or?
because you can see on the there are two screws closer to each other and one opposite.
Ok, hvor tar skjermen? Der. This one,
1, 2, 3.
yeah?
1, 2, 3.
Okay. And then it gets on there really easy.
Yeah. Should be like that.
Okay. Leave it up to the professionals.
Probably could use some copper grease.
Yeah,
On the,
on the drum.
yeah, on the face on the bolt.
Yeah. You spin it backwards for me.
I can spin forwards, but not backwards.
Okay. So maybe we need to do
But
something.
it's this corner is probably sticking.
The brakes.
Yeah, I'm guessing because it's binding one way, not the other.
Okay. Yeah, let's see if we can just tighten this until it stops. So forward was tightened on this.
Mm.
This is it's stuck.
Yeah, it's too much.
Okay, so if I do like this, come on.
Yeah, just so it's touching more or less. You probably have to readjust that one after you drive it. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, putting fluid in fluid. Is something happening?
There's a lot of air here, so
Yeah.
the best would be to have a suction vacuum on
Yeah.
the cylinder.
Now we see you and we see the. Nothing is happening here. Okay. So there was I forgot the order, but I think it's here. Then it's there, there, and there. So left front, right rear. I think just.
Yes. I feel like it's depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
The order, but
But,
I think from school is that you start furthest away from the master.
Yeah. But last time when I checked the book, it was stuck. Because this goes over to the other side, then comes back. And
Yeah,
to
because
that
on
side.
this one it's
One line.
One line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lefty Lucy.
Ja.
Skal jeg love?
Ja.
Ja. Og så øyet da.
Ja. Yeah, I have it. Okay, I'm ready. Are you?
Yeah, pressure is on.
Pressure on.
So just hold the foot down until you
Yeah.
stay.
Yeah, it looks good here.
Ja, skal vi ta bare noen pumper, eller så se?
Ja, ok.
Hvis du åpner niperen.
Ja, opening.
No bubbles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All solid fluid now.
Yeah. Still open?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid I think. It goes 10.
Okay.
Yeah. Closing. Do you have pressure?
Yeah.
Open. Okay. Just
Ready?
yeah.
Yeah. Closed?
Yeah. Okay, so already fixed the other side, and thanks to Erik, great help, and not the technical part, but just being here is so good to have him back. It's motivation in itself to get going and get going on the series project again. But while doing the other side, I noticed that this was binding up, so we're gonna take this apart as well, check it. So you can see, yeah. So really slow. I'm not sure if it's the other side binding now or what it is, but basically something is binding. So gonna take off this and see how it looks on the inside, because this is yeah, it's binding at least on the, yeah, going backwards and forward. I'm not sure if this is the other side now, but we will open this either way. If everything is mounted correctly, it's about just checking them and servicing them. Oh, oh, you can see, and maybe cleaning them a bit. Yeah. The good thing about it being oil up is that it should be easy to get the screws out. So one of these were new on the other side as well. This was easy as well. So easy to get off. My fear is that the brake shoes are not happy. Is it? Oh, easy to get off and full of oil. Oh, this really smells like oil as well. Let's see. So pretty oily in here, and it smells. It definitely smells like oil, and you can see. Looks like it's been binding up on this side by all the scrapings on the pads here. So this pad looks okay, but you can see also here scrapings, a lot of scrapings. This one is more oily, so probably because it's been turning forward maybe, and the oil is coming up, but definitely need new seals here. So we'll be looking into that. So here you see the drum, just oily. Almost look like water, so it's dripping. You see here it's dripping. I'm not sure if that is brake fluid. If it's brake fluid, I need to change the. I maybe need to change the. It's dripping. Okay, I need to check. Maybe I need to change the what's it called? Piston or cylinder, slave cylinder on the brake here as well. Maybe we should just do it as a precaution. I think it's about time to change this, so you can see there. And there. the good thing now is that I know how to do this. So we have this one, 11 for the pipe, and that is loose. Then we need half. That was not the correct one. Let's see. Half inch on here, I think. Yep. And on here. Easy peasy. So that's loose, that's loose. I need to break this apart. Ow! How many times can you do that? Let's see. Definitely leaking. Like so. Other side like so. This is loose. Get the other one. This is 302. So right hand side on mine is correct. 302. Like so, like so. Then we need to quickly change this out without spilling too much. So that's going to be a challenge in itself. We need to open this one, make it ready. So, then we're gonna, when it's loose, I'm just gonna grab it, put my finger in front. Let's see, finger in front, like so. Change it out. Get it into the hole, like so. Come on. Oh. Almost there. And not tight enough. Let's see. Yellow, dude.
You alright?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Uh-huh.
New cylinder?
Yeah. This is on the other side. So
Yeah.
me and Erik did the other the left rear.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Was that the one that was leaking the rust?
yeah. And then as we was turning earlier today, it was binding up on this side. So I just want to take it off just to see what's and now it's
Hasn't fitted the shoes around the wrong way, have they?
I'm not sure.
There's a leading and a trailing shoe, isn't there?
Yeah, so I'm not really sure. So I need to double check that. But as I was, I think it was really wet, so you can see the.
Oh wow, yeah.
But and it was smelling diff oil as well. So so it's leaking diff oil, and it as I was having this off, I could saw it just from the brake cylinder as well. It was dripping just a tiny bit. So yeah. So I just replaced that now.
Yeah, and then a seal for the.
Yeah, I don't have that, so that's
No.
So doing the brakes now, I'm gonna go around the whole car and do the brakes, and then when that is okay, then I have inspected all the seals. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
There wasn't any holes in that tube. The only thing I saw was the valve was stuck.
Oh,
So if the spring on the valve was really stiff, so if it's like air in it,
Yeah.
like a stone or anything, and it's letting air out. So the tube, I didn't see anything wrong with it.
okay.
So
It
I
hold
took the whole
it.
thing off
Yeah.
and brushed the wheel on the inside, made sure there was no
Yeah.
sharp rust flakes.
Yeah.
Wiped it all down and re-put it on.
Yeah.
The tyres cracked.
Yeah.
Hell.
Yeah. I know.
Once when you pull it off the bar and you bend it, there was all these lines appearing. So
Yeah. It's all.
Yeah. Okay.
It's only for driving it in and out of the garage until I got everything fixed, and then I need to have a new set. And
Yeah, definitely some tyres.
Yeah. So if I only knew a guy who.
I'll give you some.
Yeah. I think I got that on video. Yeah. Say hello, Perry. My favorite Brit. That was my friend Perry. Such a great guy. He is strange, but he has been motivating me a lot lately because he is planning on refurbishing his Defender. So he's been talking a lot about what he's going to do, and that has got me inspired to start work on the series again, and also Erik coming by and helping out. So Perry works at Vianor. So me and Erik went by there today just to say hi, and then I also brought the left rear wheel because I had a leak on that tire, and he looked at it today for me, and he figured out that he thinks it was the valve on the tube. So I think he's cleared it out, and because he checked the tube inside and it looks good. Brushed the rim as you heard probably, and then yeah, it's really kind of him to do. So now we can test and see if this actually works. Just gonna mount the brake cylinder here first. Let's see. Two holes close together that way. See if we can do this right this time. Two holes close together. Two holes close together that way. This is correct. Screw. Yeah. So spinning is nice freely that way. I cannot move it backwards. So not really sure if it. Okay, let's push the catwalk. Close zeros. It's not holding pressure, so I think I have a leak somewhere. Okay, so bad thing about new parts is changing to metric. So this is 10mm now instead of 3/8, I think. Clean up here, and then you can see if you have some brakes. Oh, it's definitely leaking here, but where is it leaking from? Okay. On this side now. Yeah. I don't know. This is still leaking a bit. I'll clean this up. Oh, that's heavy on the foot, so holding pressure, I think. Let's see. On this side now. And it's holding pressure. Good. Leaks is definitely a problem on this Land Rover, and yeah, you may be laughing, Land Rover leaking, yeah. But we have sorted through 2 today, so that's good. Replaced left and right rear brake cylinder now. Then we will see tomorrow, I think, because I'm gonna get the tire back from Perry so we can drive it, and then I can test the brakes just to see how it works. Then we can check for leaks in the front. I cannot see any leaks now. I can see some oil from when we just aired it out, but I cannot see anything more now. Other leaks on this car. So the coolant started leaking again from the same place on the pump, so the pump needs to be replaced, so I need to do that. I know what to do, so basically I think it's just going to be an easy job, it's just doing it, so I think that will be the next part. Test drive tomorrow, and I will show you how the brakes work, and then that will be it for this video, and then we'll come back and then do the pump so we can fix the coolant leak. Yeah. And brake. Not pumping the brake, so that's good. Not great. Let's do another test. Okay, braking now. Double pumping. Oi, fuel tank. Oh Lord! So we have brakes. You just need to fix the sponginess. So when I pumped the brakes and braked hard, this actually flew forward. So I got some spillage, so I need to just air this out. So keeping it outside for a while, and we'll do a proper clean. And then after the water pump fix, we need to actually put in the tank, and I have the new tank, so stay tuned for that.